Hey everyone, it's Erin with Hail Varsity. I'm joined by Drake, Keeler, and Brady Oltmans. We are here at Memorial Stadium. It is the first day of Nebraska's spring football practice. How excited are both of you?
I'm excited. Much like Matt Rhule, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, so you can call that excitement.
Yeah, if you're wondering, Nebraska had a 6 a.m. wake-up call. Well, no, the wake-up call was about 4:30 a.m. according to Luke Reimer, but they had a 6 a.m. start to practice. Now, the reason for this is because they wanted to give Nebraska that Easter weekend off, so that meant they had to move a practice to a different day. They picked Monday, but they had class schedules to work with, so it meant an early morning for everyone, us included. All right, let's start with Matt Rhule. Brady, I know you were standing over there listening. There was a number of players who are no longer with the team. Can you give us a quick rundown?
So far, Tyree Johnson and Chris Hickman are both no longer with the team. That happened by their own accord, their own choosing, and that happened, I guess, bad semester, so they haven't been with the team for a while. You've got a couple of guys suspended right now. Anthony Grant and Tommy Hill are both suspended. Those are day-to-day. Matt Rhule just said that those are kind of grade issues, just getting them up to general standards of the program, he said. So that's not like a behavioral thing. It's not like any run-ins with the law or anything like that. It's just a standard, like get them kind of back up on level footing before they can kind of get going. And those are, again, just kind of day-to-day, practice-by-practice things that they've just kind of been sitting out. They're moving guys around personnel-wise, so there's been a lot of movement right now, even for just the first practice. So they're trying to get everybody in the right positions, moving things around, coaches getting on the same terminology and everything. They've had to handle a lot right now.
A lot. I mean, we kind of knew this would happen. There's a lot of moving pieces, especially as you have a new coaching staff come in. You were over with Gabe Irvin, correct? Gabe Irvin Jr. He was kind of one player I know Matt Rhule talked about as being kind of a standout so far, but he seemed really eager this morning. What, in the little bit we did hear from him, what did he have to say?
Yeah, he's feeling good physically. He still talked about that knee injury affecting him over the course of last year, but feeling better going into this spring, feels good about the running back room, and he's ready to make an impact throughout the spring.
And he'll definitely be needed because, as we heard, with the players that are going to be, working either themselves back onto the field or maybe other changes, because there's plenty still. We really are just in day one. I did get a chance to hear from Luke Reimer. He talked about a little bit with injuries, just his own injury recovery and how he's feeling better this spring. I heard a lot of winter conditioning was good for the team. They sounded overall very happy. I didn't get a chance to hear from Heinrich Harburg or from Ethan Piper, but both of those players were also available, and I'm assuming they probably also said the same thing. I don't know if either of you heard from either of them.
Ethan Piper, I know, had mentioned that he really enjoyed the range of motions, the changes and things. He feels a little bit better. He also talked very highly about how he likes the coaching staff. He likes Donovan Rhule being back and having that consistency. I know he mentioned that he's not set on a position, kind of working both guards and center right now. And then Heinrich, just kind of general, feels good, trying to get that consistency. This is a third quarterback coach in 3 years for him, trying to get going, and as of right now, he's still working out with quarterbacks. That position is going to be kind of one to watch, and as I'm sure everybody knows, so there's a lot for a lot of these kids to adjust to.
I'd like to just point out that I definitely did call that we were going to hear from Heinrich Harburg today. We were like, who's what quarterback? And especially right now with just the fact that we know that Casey Thompson is limited through spring, and I don't think that they're going to roll out Jeff Sims tomorrow or today. So I was like, Heinrich feels like like him or Logan, but especially with just some we saw Heinrich dunk during the Olympics, so I'm like, maybe he needs to come out and talk about this moment. Drake, is there anything else from the players that you heard or from Matt Rhule that stood out to you?
No, I feel like you guys really covered it.
Drake and I were like, come join us.
Yeah, I mean, they're all feeling good about the start of spring practice. So,
I mean, it's going to be a beautiful week weather-wise. Did I here's the funny thing, Matt Rhule doesn't have a really loud voice, but it does carry, and so I kind of could overhear a little bit from when I was listening to Gabe Irvin. Yeah. Gabe Urban Jr. I was just saying, we got to get the junior on the last part of his name. It's really important. And one thing I was kind of overhearing is, did he talk a little bit about getting outside?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not making that up.
Yeah, well, and one thing he mentioned that quarterbacks aren't going to do a whole lot of throwing inside. He wants them to throw outside to contend with the wind and compete everything. They don't like to throw as much in a consolidated indoor space like in Hawks. So even like Casey didn't throw it all today, he's going to be limited throughout the spring, and that's kind of what prompted it. But even with Jeff Sims, Heinrich, Chuba, Logan, all those guys down the list.
Richard, there's so many
Torres,
quarterbacks in this
even
room.
with all of them, very little that they want to throw indoor. When they let it rip, they want to do it outdoor.
Well, they're going to have decent weather for it. We're looking at, like upper 40s, lower 50s all throughout the week. So, I mean, hey, we get to see part of practice on Thursday, which means maybe we'll even be outside. Who knows? So dress warm if you haven't planned on that yet. But so what the schedule is for the rest of the week. Pro Day is Wednesday, so we will be available and on hand for that. We will have all of the updates from Pro Day, but then we will also be here for practice again, post-practice availability, but we'll also have something to share from practice itself. So be sure to subscribe to Hail Varsity, both at hailvarsity.com, here on YouTube. Plenty more to come pretty much everywhere. Follow Brady, follow Drake on Twitter. You can follow me, but I will probably be just tweeting like random gifs about nothing important. So if that's your thing, come on by. But anyway, we do appreciate you. Thank you for being here on our YouTube channel. But again, subscribe everywhere. Thank you, both of you, especially Drake's like, you just dragged me along for this, but thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.